Hey everyone, it's Chase Elleby and Jared Easter. We are lawyers here at Williams Elleby Howard Easter, and we are personal injury attorneys here in Kennesaw, Georgia. Today, we're going to talk to you about medical payments coverage. So Jared, before we kind of go into this, we're going to try to keep this video short and sweet because medical payments you can talk about for days. But Jared, what are medical payments?
Medical payments are a no-fault insurance coverage that you don't have to have, but you can pay for on your insurance policy that essentially pay some level of medical bills depending on how much you contract for, regardless of who's at fault in an accident.
Right, so it's like an add-on to your auto policy. Right, so a lot of times people come into our office and say, I have full coverage. Well, full coverage really just means you have the minimum, which in Georgia, the state minimum is that you have to have $25,000 in liability coverage. You're not even required to have uninsured motorist coverage. We've done videos on those, so if you're curious, go click on those. And you're also not required to have medical payments coverage, which is what we're talking about now. So it's an add-on that protects you when you get in a wreck. And like Jared said, it's no fault. So whether you cause the wreck or someone causes the wreck and injures you, you have medical payments coverage available to you for that injury. So because it's your own insurance, what does that mean then?
Well, I think it's important to point out first, like with liability coverage, what you have to have, the full coverage to drive your car, that's money that pays the other person if you were to hit and injure someone. Medical payments pays for your bills. It pays for your bills and anybody in your car. It doesn't pay for damages to, the people in the other vehicle. So it's important because it's something you're protecting yourself and your family with.
Right. And so because it's your own insurance, it's essentially a contract claim, meaning you have to look at your plan language, your policy documents to determine what exactly medical payments is going to cover for you in that specific instance. Generally speaking, and this is general, I'm not going to come through every single plan language of Allstate, USAA, State Farm, all that stuff, but generally speaking, obviously if you're in a car wreck, whether or not you caused the wreck and you're the driver, MedPay is going to cover you. If you're a passenger, the driver's MedPay or the MedPay that's on that vehicle is going to cover you. If you're a passenger and you have your own medical payments coverage for your own policy, then that's going to cover you, okay? Now, what if you're walking down the street, walking your dog, and a car swerves and hits you?
Medical payments is going to cover you. If it involves a car in any way, shape, or form, it's going to cover you, whether you're inside the vehicle, outside the vehicle. Obviously, if you're a pedestrian, then it's going to be your MedPay at home that's going to cover you. But if you happen to run yourself over with your own vehicle, MedPay is going to cover you.
We have an employee who that happened to her. Car got out of the car, kind of went forward, hit her, right over her foot. Medical payments help cover a lot of her medical bills. So it's a good thing to have. And like a lot of coverage, people don't know that they have it or don't have it or need it until they come, or in a situation where they're injured. So I always tell folks, take a look at your insurance coverage, take a look at that deck page and find out how much coverage you have. Find out if you have medical payments coverage, because medical payments coverage is important, like we talked about, because it's no fault, but it's like a supplement payment. So if you have health insurance and your co-pays and your deductibles are going to be expensive, you can use your health insurance to pay for your treatment, but then you can go to medical payments to try to cover the gap in what your copay might be, right? So you have to get an MRI and it's going to be a $1,500 copay. You can go to medical payments coverage, assuming you have that coverage, and they will issue you a check to pay for that.
And you also, with medical payments, this is getting way into the weeds, but ideally, the liability carrier doesn't get to take into account that you have medical payments coverage. So it seems weird, but if you have $1,000 in MedPay and it pays your bills, and then you get hit by somebody that has State Farm doesn't get to take into account that you've already received that $1,000. So essentially, on some level, it's almost like some free ability to pay bills to help cover the cost of everything involved at the end of the day.
Right, and the question we get asked a lot too when it comes to using your own insurance in a wreck is this going to cause my rates to go up? Am I going to have to find a new insurance carrier because my rates are not going to go up? So generally speaking, if you don't cause a wreck, your rates legally cannot go up. Now, I always say the caveat is if you're up for renewal in 6 months, the wind can change direction and the State Farms of the world will increase your rates. So always shop around.
When does anybody's rates not go up?
Right.
It's just I haven't been in a wreck. Guess what? My rates are going up.
Right.
So it's not going up because you use MedPay. There's actually a law that says with and MedPay, only in very limited circumstances can they raise your rates. But more importantly, it says that they can't cancel you for using it.
That's right.
Because you're paying extra for it, you don't have to have it. It's something that you have an option to have or not have. So it would make no sense to pay extra for something for them to then punish you when you use it.
Right.
So they're not going to cancel you. Your rates are going up because they always go up, not because of
Little helpful tip is to always shop around. They're competing with each other all the time, so shop around. You will find someone cheaper, but make sure you have the right coverage. Just cheaper is not always better. It's the coverage that's important. All right, so real quick, I do want to talk about one other thing that sort of applies to MedPay, and this is getting a little bit into the weeds more on the claim side. So if you have uninsured motorist coverage that goes along with your medical payments coverage, I talked about that earlier. We'll put a link in the comments below to an uninsured motorist coverage video so you can watch that. But if you have uninsured motorist coverage and you also receive medical payments coverage, your insurance company in some certain situations can say that they basically get a credit for paying you MedPay to reduce what they would owe you in uninsured motorist coverage. So basically what that means is, simply put, if you have $25,000 extra in uninsured motorist coverage, but you also got paid $5,000 through your medical payments coverage, sometimes the insurance companies will try to say, well, hold on, we already paid you $5,000 for your MedPay, so really there's only $20,000 available for your uninsured motorist coverage. Now that's not always the case. I'm not going to get into the weeds with that. That's not always the case. They don't always get that reduction, but they will certainly try to get that reduction.
Yes, they will. And one last thing about MedPay that's fun is, generally speaking, no one takes attorney fees on MedPay.
Oh yeah,
it's just free money. There's no attorney fee. It's just every dollar you get goes straight to you.
Free. Not really free because you pay for it, but it seems like it's free.
Feels like it's free.
Feels like it's free. No such thing as a free lunch, kids. But all right, well, I think we've kind of hit all of the highlights we wanted to with medical payments coverage. You know, if you take anything away from this video, I just recommend you definitely look at your policy, see if you have medical payments coverage. If you don't, I recommend getting it. If you have health insurance, you don't need a lot of MedPay. If you don't have health insurance, I recommend getting a lot of MedPay because it's pretty inexpensive, all things considered. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you in the next couple of weeks with another video.
As personal injury lawyers, we love what we do, and we're happy to share the experience we've gained in personal injury law. To help our family, friends, and YouTube subscribers, we've shared over 300 personal injury videos covering various injury topics. So if you'd like to gain more knowledge that may help protect yourself or a loved one when you're on the roads or out in public, check out our channel or view our playlist of shorts for quick personal injury tips.